Hello everybody, it's Henry the Weeder Man. I'm working on an MS 180 reassemble. Before you put it back together, make sure you get your pieces back in. This plastic guard goes behind the carburetor. I've already pre-looped the throttle cable onto it. See how I got it here? I looped it on there. There's a reason why, and I'll show you. Slide your carburetor on, goes up into that piece. Gotta make sure your gas line's out of the way so you can get to it. I ain't got tucked back up in there. Come on out of there, gas line. Okay, slide your carburetor back on. Come on, carburetor. Alright, there you go. Slide it back on. You got your cover piece back on. Pieces back in place. You can let your throttle cable come down. Slide your fuel line all the way on. Slide it back. Give you a little better view of what I'm doing here. Alright, so now I got my carb on. Got all my pieces in place. Check it. Works good. Set your throttle arm up out of the way. Take your choke, stop start arm. Come in through curb side, come through with a long arm, push it out towards the handle. And you take your start stop lever. The little hole where it came out, you saw it when you took it out. Slide it back in there. Pull your throttle and your ground out of the way. And then take your one end, stick it into the side of the hole. Now you gotta be careful. A lot of people will put this in and try to force it. There's a little trick here I'll show you. So what you do is you pull your start stop lever down, and there's a little catch on it. And when you rotate it up, I'll try to show you. Try to show you. When you rotate it up, there's a button on the bottom of it. You'll see it catch. You want to be careful. You want to push towards and then push down gently, and then keep rolling it, and then you'll hear it pop into place. That will break if you're not careful. That little arm extends out. It's the only piece of plastic holding that, and you will break it. If you do just how I showed you, it'll pop right back in with no effort. You'll hear a little click, and you will break nothing, and you'll be happy as a lark. Okay, so now that's it. So now then you bring your ground or stop wire over, slide it back in. You can check it, works great. Then bring your throttle arm linkage over. Take your trigger, rough side towards you, face the smooth side up, drop it in, twist and turn, and it goes right on like no effort. Boom. Then you take your spring, which has a little hook on it, come up high on it and towards the engine, and it'll catch. And it'll catch right here in the trigger. Take one finger and pull it down, pull up your safety, boink, catch it. Now you're in. Put your cover back on, put your two screws back in. Now your trigger, start, stop, choke is all good to go. Working like a champ. Now you can finish putting the rest of your carburetor pieces back in, and we'll be ready to test this soon. Another thing right here in the carburetor, I always make sure I got a gasket. Make sure you use a gasket and it doesn't touch or bump the choke, right? And it moves freely, because some will be wrong or off a little bit and it'll catch, right? You don't want it to catch the gasket. You got to have that in there. This one didn't have it. So what happens is the dust and stuff gets behind the plastic, right? And it'll vibrate. That's just flat metal, and it heats up and contracts. It gets loose. And then you're going to ingest stuff. And I noticed on this, I've already looked in exhaust on the cylinder. Luckily, it's okay, but there's a lot of debris in here. So I'm going to wash this out and clean it real good. I'm just doing a lot of this for demo right now. And then I'm going to reassemble the carburetor and put fuel in it. See if it runs and starts and runs like it's supposed to. All right, that's the trigger assembly. Henry Weeder Man out for MS 180 Stihl. Have a good day.